For me to be allowed to park here at HCD Park House, first you must be a licensed exporter. You must be licensed, an exporter. Then you must have a contract with now the HCD as a directorate. You must have the contract runs for 1 month, and from there, what else do we need from here? I think those two, license and contract from them, and then you're good to go. Yes. Yeah, so for the other thing we had left is that once the good goes to the other side of the airport, now at the agent level, where now they have to clear the goods to Europe. There are 2 certificates involved. One is phytosanitary certificate that is issued by KEFIS. That is like a visa for the product. Then we have now the phytosanitary certificate is backed up by HCD certificates. So the 2 certificates always have the original documents from the Kenyan side as source of origin. You know, then the other countries in Europe, they will ask for Euro 1 certificate. The Euro 1 certificates now rubber stamps now the 2 certificates, the KEFIS, phytosanitary, and the HCD certificate. Not many other countries ask for Euro 1, but mostly in Europe countries they'll go for Euro 1 because it rubber stamps now the 2 certificates now as the certificate of origin of the product. Once the product leaves here, goes to the airport, we have now KEFIS. For them to issue phytosanitary certificate, we have KEFIS inspectors on the ground at the airport. The same way they do in all entry borders in Kenya that have to inspect. But now for horticulture and for product, they do inspection at the GK. They have a GK unit. They'll come, they'll do the inspection. If the standards are okay, then they'll issue the phytosanitary certificate. If the product does not conform with the standard, then they reject. You know, so meaning that the shipment itself, you cannot issue phytosanitary certificate. The same phytosanitary certificate, if they cannot issue phytosanitary certificate because they have rejected the product, you can also still not get the HCD certificate because they are 2 in 1. Phytosanitary comes first, then HCD goes second. Yes. And once your shipment is rejected, they put a red tape as a sign it's already rejected. Then they will ask you to come and collect your stuff. For the French beans market, you have to play with the export market on the other side. You must have the program because there is off-peak and peak season. And this happens when they're in winter, we're in peak season. When they're in summer, then we're in a low season. Because from January, Feb, that is always a low season for beans and other maybe snow peas and sugar snap products. Then we start now the peak season from March, April, May until June. From July, we go now again to the off-season until October. Then from October, we have 3 months of high peak season, where now you can take, you can be able to do 10 tons or 20 tons, you can just ship. Yeah, so you have to, as a farmer and as an exporter, you have to gauge between the two, and you must be sure of how the market wave goes, so that maybe you can reduce the post-harvest loss. Let me say, for the past 4 years, we have done quite a bit well, and because we have been in the market consistently, and meaning that me as a farmer, I'm always in the market. And not only me, even you can see this pack house has a lot of guys working still here, and we still have this issue of COVID now as second year coming, but we have been able to keep our market, you know. And definitely the market has been shaky since last year for the COVID. You know, once the lockdown comes, then an issue comes, we have no flights and everything, but we have been able to keep the market on check. Even if there was a time we had almost doing 1 flight a week. So you could only load 1 flight, and that was, I think it was Qatar, which was the only flight which was coming to Kenya. You know, we could only load once, that was only on Thursdays. So you can imagine all exporters trying to chase for this just one space. But we had some, we could do only 1 ton or 2 tons, and we are okay with that, you know. So it has been shaky, not that quite well, but we are hoping maybe as we project for now the 2021 and 2022 until 2023, we'll be able to maximize our full potential from the farmer side and from the government side, having more, bringing out more markets, because it takes even the government to have market here in Kenya, like the way they did with China. We are still hoping for the Hong Kong that will be coming on board, the Singapore, the whole of South Asia will come on board and expand more for the market in South Asia, more than Europe. You see, then we're still looking for intra-Africa trade, which is something now we need to go for Africa market, which is rising and every day. But that will only happen if the African countries and governments remove all these trade barriers in between the countries. It's an untapped market that we need to go into. Yes. Basically, as an exporter, we have been able to have, here in the pack house, we have close to 37 staffs. And then in the farms, we have 10 plus 2, that is 12, and 13. You know, so basically, you can see it's all, we almost 50 staffs. Those are now who are working for us, and the other, when you come to farmers, we have almost close to 200 farmers, and that is a good number, you know. So you can tell it's a chain. So we have been able to offer, it's a chain of, you know, that you can be able to bring something and someone else brings something, because now from here, I always say agriculture has one of huge chain of employment, because from the farm level where we do farmers, we'll have pickers, as you have seen in our farms. We have pickers who are picking. We have guys who come to maybe to take care of the farm every day. So it creates, you have a lot of people along the chain. Yes, the opportunities are always there, and I always say this: ukulima. We always say ukulima si ushamba. It's only that these young men and women, or sometimes wanna feel it's like anything we are doing, they want to go to look for these white collar jobs, of which aziko sai. Then what do? Let's go to the farm. And you see, an agriculture can employ you as a young man, as a young woman. Then you have another people working for you. So it's a whole chain. I don't see why, because I've been there. I've seen the benefits of being a farmer, you know. And you can see we have a lot of team, young men and women working here, you know. So it takes 50,000 first to do 1 acre for French beans. That is the whole expenses, you know. And you'll be able to fetch almost double of that, another 50,000 when the prices are good, you know, because you can get from 1 acre, you can be able to get 2.5 tons, which is 2,500 kilos, to 3,000 or 4,000, you know. So you can imagine now you have 3,000 kilos times 50 shillings, where we buy our minimum price, which is 50 shillings. At 50 shillings, that's 150. Then we had spent only 50 to do this 1 acre. You'll have almost 100 shillings. You know, sometimes farming is not guaranteed, you know, but it's a business as any other business, ups and downs, loss, profits. So it's a journey I can, I'll ask my young men and women to embrace. Yeah, because farming is the future. Okay, for me, I'm an IT technician by profession, you know, but at the end of the day, you have to be street smart, you know, because you see the world with IT. When I finished my college, there was no jobs, you know. I had to make a tough choice, you know. Either I divert all my everything to farming, or I'll just continue chasing jobs. But I choose to do farming. And now, this is where I am right now. Yes. And I have never ever regretted doing that, ever. Yes.
It's a consolidation of all the parastatals which were there before the 2013 of the Ministry of Agriculture. It was created through the AFA Act 2013 and is operating through the Crops Act 2013. The AFA has 8 directorates, and one of them is HCD, Horticultural Crop Directorate, where I belong. Our main mandate of AFA is sustainably develop, promote, and regulate scheduled crops for sustainable growth. Under HCD, our main role is to regulate, develop, promote, and regulate the horticulture industry in Kenya. And we do that through Crops Act, which has scheduled crops. We have so many scheduled crops in Crops Act, and under that one, we have so many crops. One of the main area is fruits, vegetables, and flowers. Those are the main areas where HCD operates from. Yes. As I've indicated, now our role is to develop and promote the horticulture industry in Kenya. And our main role focusing youth. Like here in horticulture, we have youth for development. Here we have youth who are doing flower for horticulture, as you can see behind there. We have given them a code room on Naya, because this is a common user facility whereby a small-scale exporter can have a room to operate from. Like here now we have small-scale exporters who are youth. We call them consolidators. They have a certificate which allows them to consolidate the product on behalf of the other exporters. And after that, they consolidate, they come together as a team, and they sell their product as a team, thereby earning their income. That's promoting the rural youth. Generally, the youth, they are the limelight of the horticulture, youth and women. When you go to the production areas, you find most of the producing areas, they are being manned by the youth. They are the young farmers there, they are the graders there, they are the transporters, they are the loaders there, they are the graders there. So youth are involved in this chain of production in horticulture, from the production up to the packers. When you get here, you see that the packers, they are almost youth. So they are fully involved in this business. Yeah, and we are promoting them. And we have also training. We have development youth development in our technical department, whereby we go to the field, we train youth on the nursery operation, so that because with the nursery now, fruit tree nursery is where they get the orchards. So those nurseries are generally operated by youth. And those youth are regulated by us. We sell their product on their behalf. We get the customer, we send to them, they sell their product, they get money. Yeah, and you can see most of the transport system here, from the packers to the airport, they are manned by the youth. They have their small trucks, whereby they are using as a transport to the airport, and they are paid by the exporters.